North Korea is notorious for its strict control over the information its citizens are allowed to access. The government exerts immense efforts to brainwash its people through a combination of propaganda, censorship, and control of the media. Let's explore how North Korea brainwashes its citizens and the methods it uses to maintain its grip on power. Propaganda is one of the most important tools that the North Korean government uses to control the minds of its people. It permeates every aspect of life in the country, from school textbooks to entertainment programs. Propaganda is used to create a cult of personality around the country's leader, Kim Jong-un, and to install a sense of national pride in North Koreans. One of the most effective propaganda tools used by the North Korean government is the Juche ideology, which emphasizes self-reliance and the superiority of North Korea's political system. The Juche ideology is taught in schools and universities, and its principles are reinforced through slogans, billboards, and posters that are displayed throughout the country. The government also uses censorship to control the flow of information in North Korea. The internet is heavily restricted, and most North Koreans only have access to a state-controlled intranet. This intranet provides access to government-approved websites that promote the Juche ideology and promote North Korea in a positive light. The government also censors foreign news broadcasts and newspapers to prevent its citizens from learning about the outside world. Control of the media is another key component of the North Korean government's brainwashing efforts. All media outlets in North Korea are state-controlled, and journalists are required to follow strict guidelines on what they can and cannot report. The government uses the media to portray the outside world as hostile and dangerous, reinforcing the idea that North Korea is the only safe place to live. In addition to propaganda, censorship, and control of the media, the North Korean government also uses fear to maintain its grip on power. North Koreans are taught to fear the outside world and to believe that their government is the only thing standing between them and annihilation. Dissent is not tolerated, and those who speak out against the government risk imprisonment or even execution. In North Korea, the government controls every aspect of daily life, from the education system to the job market. Even the arts and entertainment are heavily censored and monitored to ensure that they align with the government's ideology. The education system in North Korea plays a significant role in brainwashing its citizens. Children are taught from a young age to worship the country's leaders and to believe in the superiority of the North Korean political system. They're also taught to fear the outside world and to view the United States and other Western countries as enemies of North Korea. In addition to the education system, the North Korean government also uses mass rallies and events to reinforce its propaganda messages. These events are designed to create a sense of unity and national pride among North Koreans and to emphasize the importance of loyalty to the government. The North Korean government also uses a system of rewards and punishments to reinforce its ideology. Those who show loyalty to the government and its leaders are rewarded with better jobs, housing, and other privileges. Those who are suspected of disloyalty are punished, often with imprisonment or even execution. Despite the government's best efforts, however, there are signs that some North Koreans are beginning to question the official propaganda. The spread of illegal foreign media, such as South Korean dramas and movies, has allowed some North Koreans to see a different side of the world and question the government's narrative. The rise of the black market economy has also given some North Koreans access to goods and services that are not provided by the government, further eroding the government's control over its citizens. One of the most extreme examples of North Korea's brainwashing is the cult of personality surrounding the country's leaders. The Kim family, who have ruled North Korea since its founding in 1948, are portrayed as godlike figures who can do no wrong. Portraits of the Kims hang in every home and public building in North Korea, and people are required to bow to these portraits as a sign of respect. The cult of personality is reinforced through propaganda and the media, which constantly portrays the Kims as heroic and infallible leaders who are loved by the people. Any criticism of the Kims or their policies is strictly forbidden, and those who dare to speak out risk imprisonment or even execution. Another method the North Korean government uses to brainwash its citizens is the use of political prison camps. An estimated 80,000 to 120,000 people are being held in these camps, where they're subjected to forced labor, torture, and other forms of abuse. Those who are sent to these camps include not only political dissidents, but also their family members, as guilt by association is a common practice in North Korea. The North Korean government also uses public executions as a form of propaganda and intimidation. These executions are often carried out in public places and are designed to send a message to the population that dissent will not be tolerated. The government also uses the bodies of those who have been executed as a warning to others, leaving them on display in public places for days or even weeks. Despite the extreme measures taken by the North Korean government to brainwash its citizens, there are signs that change is possible. In recent years, there have been a number of high-profile defections by North Koreans, including diplomats, soldiers, and even a doctor who worked in a political prison camp. These defections have helped shine a light on the human rights abuses in North Korea and have given hope to those working to bring about change in the country. One of the ways in which the North Korean government brainwashes its citizens is by controlling access to information. The government controls all media outlets in the country and censors all information that's deemed critical of the government or its policies. North Koreans are only allowed to access a limited range of state-approved websites, and international news is heavily filtered to ensure that only positive stories about North Korea are allowed to reach the public. In addition to controlling the media, the North Korean government also heavily restricts travel within and outside the country. North Koreans are not allowed to travel abroad without permission, and those who are granted permission are closely monitored by the government officials. The government also tightly controls movement within the country, and citizens are required to carry identification cards at all times, which specify their place of residence, occupation, and political affiliation. The North Korean government also uses language as a tool for brainwashing. The official state ideology, known as Juche, emphasizes self-reliance and independence from foreign influence. North Koreans are taught to view the outside world with suspicion and to believe that the government is the only source of truth and guidance. The government also uses language to create a sense of unity and national pride among its citizens, often referring to North Korea as the Great Leader or the Fatherland. Finally, the North Korean government also uses food as a tool for control and manipulation. The government tightly controls the distribution of food in the country. It uses it as a reward for loyalty and compliance. Those who are suspected of disloyalty may be denied access to food or given lower quality rations. In contrast, those who are loyal to the government are given better quality food and access to other privileges. In conclusion, the North Korean government's efforts to brainwash its citizens are comprehensive and far-reaching, involving the control of the media, censorship of information, restriction of travel, manipulation of language, and control of food distribution. While there are signs that some North Koreans are beginning to question the official propaganda, the government's grip on power remains strong. It will likely take a concerted effort by the international community to bring about meaningful change in the country. The North Korean government uses a combination of propaganda, censorship, control of the media, fear, rewards and punishments, a cult of personality, political prison camps, and public executions to brainwash its citizens and maintain its grip on power. Despite the extreme measures taken by the government, there are signs that change is possible. The international community must continue to pressure North Korea to improve its human rights record and allow its citizens to live free and prosperous lives. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you next time.